Hello and welcome to Get Your Hands Off My Dogcast. My name is Jamie.
My name is Oliver.
And my name is Alistair.
Alistair mid-yawn there. This is the podcast where we discuss films about dogs, and this week we watched a Chevy Chase film, The Karate Dog.
And it was a real treat.
But we'll get onto that a bit later. First of all, we'll crack into a good old icebreaker, which we sometimes do, just to, loosen ourselves up a bit and let you get to know us. Oliver, what is this week's icebreaker?
Have you ever had a base, could be secret or otherwise, but maybe a tree house or an alternative?
I thought you were talking about bass guitar. I'm like, yes, actually, I do have one, so...
And that's not a secret.
Alistair, tell us about a bass you've...
You don't have to have had one. But I just like my one.
Well, it wasn't necessarily a bass.
Was it a house?
Oh, no, okay. When me and my brothers were young... I've got an older brother and a younger brother. And me and my older brother used to have a bit of a classic prank where we'd tell my younger brother we had a secret underground base where we had all sorts of kind of high-tech, like cars and just cool toys and shit. And he believed us for many years, and he was very jealous. And he'd always begged to be allowed into the secret base, and we wouldn't let him. And we'd always act like we just came back from it when in fact we'd just been outside, digging in the dirt or something. But
sounds like jolly good fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Our family had an underground bunker for the impending nuclear holocaust. I spent most of my formative years there actually. Didn't see the light of day until I was a man of 13. A fairly scarring experience overall, but I think it was really character building.
So what was the lighting kind of like in the base, Jamie?
Very dim.
Was it? So would you say you were born into the darkness, moulded by it?
I would say that. It was very dim. Couldn't really see a lot. Spent most of my childhood sort of ramming my toes into various corners of furniture and everything because it was just really dim. I was just, Christ, you can't...
I mean, at least there's furniture. Generally, bunkers are pretty sort of sparse.
Yeah, well, Mum and Dad really wanted it to feel like home, so it was fairly nicely appointed.
Dark, terrifying home.
Well, yeah. But I didn't know any better,
No.
Of course, once they found out that the nuclear holocaust had not come, that was a real kick in the guts. A lot of wasted time, but it's all worked out for the best now. Oliver, what about you? Any secret bases?
It's not secret, but it was pretty incredible and a fond memory of mine. There was... by the beach just down here, a tree washed up, and it was there for about 2 months up on the shore. Bloody massive tree with no branches or anything, and we constructed a base on it. We got wood from other places and bloody hammered it in and made a base on the tree above the water. And it was very good fun.
Who's we in this scenario?
This is me and my friends, whose names should not be disclosed because there are some people after them.
Oh God.
Well, that's very
on the run from the law. But we had a good time.
I noticed you said at the beach near here, and I just wanted to point out to our avid listeners.
Not in our usual studio.
Yeah, not in the usual studio. We are in the settlement of Eastbourne, which is a lovely beachside community. And we are currently in Oliver's little sister's bedroom, which is nicely appointed with various plush animals.
Lots of horrible history books.
Lots of Roald Dahl books as well. So just an update there on if you like to visualise where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Looking out a window, there's a nice sort of tree. Not a great view. It's obscured by a house, but it's pleasant. Yeah,
a change of scenery we thought would be nice for a podcast record. Unfortunately, did not help our state of being while watching the movie. Shall we crack into The Karate Dog and what we thought of this?
If we absolutely have to.
Let's give a rundown of the plot, shall we?
Brief rundown.
Okay,
so Chevy Chase of National Lampoon's Vacation and more recently Community fame is the voice of the Karate Dog known as Cho-Cho. He is skilled in the ways of karate. He's been taught by his master Chin Lee, not to be confused with Chun-Li, the Street Fighter character. And basically he witnesses his master murdered by a group of sort of
ninja
basically people, and then sort of appeals to a sort of socially awkward detective to help him solve the case.
It's quite a confusing plot. I didn't actually know what was going on until the movie was kind of nearly over.
No.
Basically, the evil ninja, what's his name? Something Cage?
Cage is the last name of...
Yeah, Cage. And played by John Voight.
That's right.
He's developing this kind of weird energy formula drug which makes you like very energetic, but also then kills you
Yeah, it
with
also-
horrible like skin cancer.
Rips your body apart. this
And
thing.
Chin Lee steals that, and then he comes to steal it back, and then it's a kind of confusing thing where they're kind of trying to solve the murder and also shut down the John Voight
Yeah,
from
I mean, we
spreading
sound
the
really
drug.
uninterested, but that's because this film just really...
It's very
we didn't
strange.
really,
that,
really
that
not
drug
enjoy this
thing
film.
didn't really sort of
It's-
No, the
go...
whole film is all over the place. There's only 2 scenes where the dog does karate.
Which is the
At the
very
start and
beginning
the
and the
end.
very end.
Yeah, so you
blew
lose
the
sort of
budget
all-
on that one.
You lose all attention. You lose your... No, I don't know. You just,
I mean, the main point of the film, you come expecting a dog to do karate, and if you don't have that a lot, you do lose, you expect a dog to be doing lots of karate. But generally, it's a fairly sort of conventional... I mean, the dog can talk, which is weird enough, but...
one thing I did appreciate about this movie is that I thought it was going to be another sort of Shaggy Dog situation where it's sort of a lot of... It's an origin
doesn't
story.
understand.
It's a lot of setup and sort of making this dog become, talk and stuff, and then going over and over the fact that people can't be like, oh my god, a talking dog. That is... The very start of the movie, the dog's already talking
Yeah.
and do karate. You're like, okay, that's good.
They just kind of... It's accepted that
You
he's
can
a
skip
student
the
of Chin Lee.
pleasantries. I assume if this movie's called The Karate Dog, the dog does karate, and I'm glad that they just got that.
I mean,
out of
there's
the
an
way, so that's it.
excruciating scene in which at the police station, he's saying that the dog is the only witness, the policeman who befriends the dog, and is saying, he's witnessed this crime, he can speak. And then he doesn't speak for no particular reason.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's the sort of scene
Especially
that I
when-
was fearing. And there weren't too much of that, but
Yeah,
it's the
that was-
annoying sort of, he can speak, and then he turns out not to, and yeah.
It makes the guy look like a dickhead.
What kind of really got me about the movie is that, okay, it's called The Karate Dog, and yes, the dog does karate occasionally, but,
Twice.
like, it's just the fact that I was kind of going into it, I was expecting, a martial arts film about, like, that happens to kind of feature a dog as its main character.
Yeah.
But instead we got this kind of really odd mishmash quilt work of, it's like part karate martial arts film, part buddy comedy, part romance, part just like murder mystery, part just straight up dog film. Like there's a scene where dogs are randomly having a party, which
Best scene.
I mean it's the
Yeah, that is the highlight of the movie.
undoubtedly the best scene in the movie, but also makes no sense because the scene before that is just Cho is on a date with another dog. And then suddenly the detective comes home and they're having a massive party.
Yeah, it's...
He's a well-connected dog.
And also, that scene doesn't make sense because I feel like it's established that Cho is the only dog that has sort of the ability to act like a human, talk and sort of walk around and do
And then
human-like things. But then at this party, every dog
Suddenly-
is just like dancing and playing poker and
talking.
doing very human-like things. And I'm like, well, this has not been established at all.
One very small dog held aloft by many balloons.
Yeah, a chihuahua just floats through
Certainly
the
That was
an
fucking
iconic
hilarious.
image.
That was good. I had a good guffaw at that.
Oh, I did love
really,
that scene.
Really liked that.
That-
So shall we discuss, I don't know, characters, maybe? I don't know. What
Yeah, okay, let's
sort
have a
of
brief rundown of the
everything,
characters. So, obviously, the main character is Cho-Cho,
Sort
the
of,
titular karate dog,
It's sort of
played
the
by Chevy Chase.
main thing is sort of the duo. It's Cho and then also, as
Detective, whose
young
name I didn't catch.
No, yeah, actually, I can't even remember.
Nor did I care to. But, yeah, Chevy Chase was obviously quite under the influence of some kind of chemical
Yeah, well, there's some
when
interesting,
recording
there's
his
some
lines.
interesting IMDb trivia that says that Chevy Chase was
Agreed
both-
to the movie and did all his acting in a state of heavy drug usage.
and also alcoholism, and then they a footnote to that trivia piece was that the only lines in the movie, all Cho-Cho's lines in the movie are just the only lines that they could get from Chevy that were intelligible. Which I don't know. We don't have any sources on this. It's just what some random user posted on IMDb. But I have every reason to trust them.
Based on the outcome of the movie. sure.
Based on the
Pretty
outcome of the movie.
believable.
Yeah. Other characters.
There's police detective,
Yeah. So yeah, the main guy. I think we just
who's kind of, he's not, not sure what his job is exactly.
He's
the
a-
thing. He
he-
runs a computer system called Collar, which apparently is meant to like analyze all the data from the crime scene and then
Yeah, it's like a real Jarvis kind of thing going on there.
yeah, for some reason it's also like an AI which runs his home.
Yeah, that's not really touched upon too much.
Really?
Yeah.
And also, so we also have supporting cast. We've got Jamie Presley as the character Ashley.
Who's very one-dimensional. She's just kind of a cop who turns up, flirts heavily with the like detective, and then
Leaves.
doesn't do a whole lot else, and then kind of has an awkward date scene with him.
Oh man, that date scene.
I really hated
We'll
that.
get into that.
There's John Voight playing the Riven.
And John
the main
Voight,
villain. Oh,
similar to Tim Allen and the Shaggy Dog, is really just giving it his all.
I
does
loved
not
his
care about
performance.
his image.
He was a real highlight for me because he just kind of having a lot of fun with the role. Like, he's putting on a very strong Southern accent. That's not his real voice, is it?
I
don't think so, 'cause
it seems quite exaggerated.
He did a similar one in Holes as well, so I was just wondering. But yeah, he's just and kind of enunciating and slowly drifting into madness. There's a brilliant scene where he races some greyhounds. I'll get into that later. I can.
Okay, so yeah, so he's
that's my
a good
highlight.
character. I mean, there's other sort of police characters. But
There's
None of
his son,
them.
Edward
Yeah.
Cage,
Yeah.
a deeply overweight man who just kind
he's
of
a pretty hefty fella.
I think my favourite
around.
police character was the one who existed only in after dialogue recording,
Yeah, that's right.
making the occasional witty quip that
There were just 2 lines about the main detective dating the dog.
yeah,
which is
and nobody on camera seemed to be making them, and it really seemed to be dubbed in. Just he's dating that dog sort of jokes.
And then the dog looks at him and he's like, he's getting a kiss on the first date. But nobody is visibly saying these lines.
No.
They're just sort of dubbed in
There's
over
a
the top of the scene.
spectre that's watching the action.
It's the ghost of John Voight's career. No, so let's... I don't know. There's not really any other characters that we can talk about, to be honest.
No, let's have a brief chat about one thing which we all agreed was quite fun in the movie and quite good, which was the soundtrack and the music.
Oh yes, so we talked. I think we talked about back when we did Bingo. We talked about the score for that was quite unusual,
Certainly memorable.
but definitely for the Shaggy Dog and Airbud 1 and 2.
sort of goes under the radar.
Not
It does
really
its
memorable,
job, but you
yeah.
don't really sort of
It's
notice
just
too much.
pretty.
It's just a little bit to set the scene.
Whereas in this film,
Bland meat.
sort of like 2 moments where the score is really hammed up and it's great.
There was the initial. Actually, there were, I'd say 3.
Okay.
But in the fight scenes, they kind of go into this like very Matrixy techno.
Yeah, it's really
Like,
late
just
90s.
Sort of drum and bass.
yeah.
Synth driven, and then later as that like the 2 characters are going for a drive, the dog
the
and
best bit.
yeah,
Yeah, this is
there's
just a transitional scene. It's just a guy driving to his house.
yeah, it's just to show that Chocho stowed away in his car or something. And then it's got this intense like funky.
Yeah, it's kind of like dun, like
Just throwing every instrument you've got at it as if it's leading up to something big and massive, and the next scene is in fact a man sleeping.
It really reminded me of the score to Batman v Superman. There's a scene
Really?
in particular, yeah, like not even joking, there's a scene where Lex Luthor is, I don't know, just like walking down a hallway, and it's got this really sort of over the top, sort of, really over the top music that's maniacal as he walks down, and I was just really taken out of the movie at that point. This is Batman v Superman. And it brought,
It's the recent one.
yeah, it's a terrible movie. And it brought
It's
back
no
memories
Batman
of that.
versus Robin. No, versus Robin. Batman and Robin, starring George Clooney.
Definitely not.
That's got good nostalgia.
So yeah, it brought me back to that. Just that very sort of amped up sound over the
Whoa.
top. Oh, got some branches
The wind
moving
is
outside.
going crazy.
Oh, the wind is not liking
We're
this
under
podcast.
attack.
So yeah, that was something to touch on. Score quite memorable for such a shit film. Overall review of the film. Should we just quickly say
Wait, there's
Yeah.
what we thought?
I just wanted to briefly touch on the set dressing because I thought that was kind of worth mentioning because it's very odd. Like the police department's pretty standard, I guess, but like okay, there's this the scientific laboratory where they're making this chemical formula, which is just like green and glowing and held in some kind of weird vial. Doesn't look scientific at all. But it appears to be abandoned because there's like 3 scenes in it where they're going into this kind of highly secure facility and there's literally nobody around.
Yeah, it's really
really odd.
They really pull on the Mission Impossible imagery. You've got Cho hanging from a rope, a la Tom Cruise in the original Mission Impossible, sort of hanging over a computer thing. But that scene doesn't really go anywhere. Like,
They just get the
that's
details.
what
They
they-
grab a thing.
that's
Some evidence that I feel like probably isn't
we don't
used
really need to
again
go
because
into
they
it.
just have a fight.
I think we'd all sort of checked out at that point. Well, maybe not Alistair. Alistair was following the film quite
Well, no, that's
diligently.
the evidence that blows up all their computers. I think that
I don't even remember computer
No,
flying.
don't. I remember.
I remember very
they go to the police station, then he's like, ha ha ha, bye bye bye.
Oh, so that's
and
false
then
evidence. Yeah, it's
no.
it's a fake thing. Yeah.
We watched this like half an hour ago and I cannot remember this at all.
and all the
movie
power
is-
went out.
movie is slipping my mind rapidly.
And like the main detective's apartment is just he's obviously quite a wealthy person. He drives a sports car, but he lives in some kind of I think he said it's a boating
Yeah,
shed.
so it's like an old boat
But
yard.
it's like a massive house with all sorts of weird shit in it. Like he's got like a gumball machine
Yeah,
thing. And he's
Very
got
unhealthy
like
fridge. Oh,
very unhealthy. And his door into his bedroom is just like a bank vault
Yeah.
door. It's like
do you know this character's name?
I don't remember.
I can't be bothered.
What a film!
Frankly, I loathed him as a character.
He's incapable of social interactions unless a dog is giving him instructions.
Yeah, there's one scene where
Through
he
his
goes
ear.
on a date and Chevy Chase as the dog is sort of feeding him lines through his earpiece.
And saying things that a dog might say about, chasing.
yeah, basically
And he's reading them out, without question and screws it up and can't talk to her. And then he goes really full on, first date, you can't.
Yeah, talking about how much he loves her, drive and courage or whatever. It's like, Jesus Christ.
But he ruins the date basically because Chevy Chase starts going on a hate-filled speech about cats, and he's like, "I fucking hate cats" to this woman, and she's like, "Oh God, okay, this is another guy I want to be associated with." So she sort of drives away, and he chases her down. He's like, "Oh."
That was actually audio recordings just from Chevy Chase in his trailer. Wasn't actually recorded for the film. It was just
Chevy
one of
just
Chevy's
really despises
monologues.
cats. I think it's actually something I think they actually just dubbed in the word cats there, and he was potentially referring to something else. We'll let you decide. Overall thoughts on the film, just getting back to that, thought it sucked.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, it was
There's no way
undoubtedly-
around
I
it.
don't really
This
think
was
there's
the worst,
anything redeeming about
the
it.
worst film. Oh,
It was a
well,
really bad
There
film.
weren't any points that made me laugh like out of.
Look, there were small dogs with balloons. There were a few
okay,
redeeming features, but overall, really
There weren't any
punishing.
jokes like with the other movies.
Oh, the jokes.
They've all been sort of just your fairly mediocre sort of family films, but there have been a couple of jokes that have actually
Yeah.
made us laugh like because of the joke. Whereas most of the laughs we got from this movie were just at the movie's expense because it was so terrible.
Definitely, yeah. That said, not to get too negative, were there highlights of the film from you guys?
Oh, Alistair, maybe you start off.
Yeah,
I will start off because
Give
I
us
have
some
mine.
thinking time. Yeah.
My favourite scene is one where John Voight wants to prove how good his formula is, but he's also cracking up a bit at this stage. So his son comes up to him with concerns, then he pretends to interview them with an imaginary microphone, and then he gets he gets into a dog cage and starts racing against some greyhounds.
He even stops to pause to look back at the grounds like, "Come on, guys!"
And it's so clearly that he's not running faster than a greyhound could, but it just shows him being way ahead of them, and it just makes me laugh a lot because he just kind of it's like, "Ah, fuck you, dogs,"
Yeah,
and sprinting off ahead of them.
John Voight was comedy gold.
What is that magical serum thing that they're all about?
It was just I don't know.
I don't know. They don't establish
It doesn't
at all.
seem to. Yeah.
Well, maybe they did.
It was like L99 and he wants to
But I
put it
don't
in
know its
breakfast cereal.
origin.
I think it's just something he's developed that apparently gives him eternal life.
It's very odd.
He says his motivations. Ah, shit. His motivation is that he wants
Alistair's
to.
drawn over his jeans with a red pen, quite significantly.
No, it's fine.
We've all been there. I remember I did that at university earlier on this year. I was just sort of sitting there. We were just having a critique session on some posters that we'd made, and I was sort of just scratching my leg with a pen.
Yeah.
Looked down.
That's what I was doing. Itchy leg.
The pen was clicked. I'd scribbled all over my pants.
Yeah, but that one's not a clickable one. How'd that happen?
I thought I was using the
yes.
other end.
Yeah, I've been
And then
there
you
too.
slip and
I've been there
it's all
too.
over.
It was a tragedy. Anyway, yeah, no, but he says his motivation is just so no one has to be an orphan because he was an orphan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently it will stop everybody dying.
Very
It's-
odd.
Look,
Very odd.
I think we're
the
just going to
writers
have to accept that this movie was
Yeah.
probably written in about half a day.
I was going to say half an hour.
Written to fit Chevy Chase's ramblings, just written and plot around that.
Yeah.
Jamie, got a highlight?
My highlight was not actually something that the movie intended, but early on when the detective, once again, don't know his name, he sort of discovers that the dog has followed him back to his house.
It's called Marcel.
Wait, what?
Oh,
No, that's his name for it.
Okay. And he's just talking to him like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe a dog can talk." And in the background, there's just a person standing there.
Oh, yes.
There's just a person whose
quite
arms
menacing.
folded in the back of the scene, and you're like, "Oh god,
There's a thug in his house. He's gonna.
yeah, we're gonna see some karate here." Nope. Just a mistake. That
was gone in the
that
next
was just
shot.
a crew member just standing in the back of the scene. He's gone later on. So that was a real highlight for me. But once again, not actually of the movies.
I thought that was going to be like a tense scene where he's in the back
like
and he's
Alistair was like,
following
oh,
back.
there's a guy in the back. I was like, oh god, yeah, there is. This is gonna go off. No,
then,
just
nah.
they just fucked it up. Oliver, what about you?
No, I'm really struggling. It's
Look, I understand if you can't find anything.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
movie is
you've mentioned
Yeah.
the scene with the dog floating.
yeah,
on
it's
the
that
lake.
scene.
Yeah, the
It's the
dog
scene
one.
with the dog, and then it starts off with 4 dogs doing a conga,
that's
and there's a little. Yeah, it's the dogs doing their partying thing.
Actually, that scene made us laugh,
We like
and I would say that was the
intentional.
movie-
It's
the
like
movie's
this is a
doing.
wacky thing that's happening.
It
We
is,
enjoyed it.
but in hindsight, I don't like it because it just makes no sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
In
completely out
terms of the
place
film,
movie.
it doesn't fit into the film at all.
Yeah.
But what about lowlights? Considering that this was such a terrible film, what was one bit that just kind of made you angry or sad?
Oh god, I don't even know that. Because I think just the general movie, I was just so bored.
Yeah, I
Just,
can't.
like,
There are
wanting
no
it
sort
to
of
end.
specific scenes that are plateaus that.
Oh, okay, no, a low light for me is the whole when he takes the dog into his police boss and he's like, look, he was a witness to the killing of the guy. He's going
Hated
to
it.
talk about it. Because I just hate that when they like make the main character look like an idiot, and he's like, no, he really does talk.
Yeah, and
It's
then
like, oh god.
gets demoted and stuff, and oh god.
And it's just
In a
it's
similar
fairly
vein-
standard trope.
This is after his date with Jamie Presley, and he's kind of managed to save it. And then he goes back to his house, and
Oh yeah.
Cho-Cho is having a party, which he doesn't know about. And he's like,
Yeah, he's not aware
she's
that
like,
Cho-Cho's
wait,
having
is
a
there a
party."
party happening at your house? And he's like, no, I must have just left the TV on or something. And then a keg crashes down, and she's like, oh, so there's no party, and leaves. But I don't know why, A, that she's angry about that, and B, he doesn't just say, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Clearly someone has broken into my house and
Yeah.
is having a party.
He tries
there."
to come up with some sort of lie. She's like, oh god, I better lie to her and tell
Very
her.
unconvincingly. But it's
It's
just,
like, why? It's like, he doesn't know this party's happening either. Shouldn't he be curious and be like, oh yeah, let's go check
he
it
lives
out?
there alone.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fucking ridiculous.
it's just fucking awful writing.
Oliver, any points that particularly angered you?
No,
No?
it's just that one. I hate that the cop and the dog doesn't speak, and it should speak, and they don't trust him. Really,
As you could probably tell, not fans of this movie.
furious.
It's really
No.
destroyed us, I think.
I was kind of looking forward to it because I thought it was going to be so bad it's good, like just from some of the special effects and stuff that we saw in the
Yeah.
trailer. And to be fair, those are like kind of hilarious. Like there's a scene when John Voight. Okay, for some reason they start having a breakdance battle in the middle of their karate fight.
I
and
think
then
it's
John
supposed to
Voight-
be karate, but it's like
I
really,
think it's just dancing.
it's really odd.
I really think they're just breakdancing, and then he kind of accidentally flips backwards into a dumpster and just starts throwing things from the dumpster towards Cho-Cho.
Half a watermelon.
Which includes like a watermelon, a hubcap, and an entire sink, like a metal sink.
Yes,
I think that was a-
everything
at him.
and the kitchen sink. I like that.
I like to think that was
I
a
hope that was
reference to
intentional.
the common saying.
If not, oh my god,
if not, still,
still a good moment.
still a highlight.
And
certainly.
yeah, and they kind of do like a whole Matrix thing, like literally just ripping off the Matrix bullet time scene, but horribly.
Yeah, really bad. Just poor execution all around. The Karate Dog, wouldn't recommend it. Not even for as you said, it's not even so bad. It's good. There were a couple of moments that we. Basically, just the karate scenes, because those are like the most visually engaging, and they were like funny because they looked so stupid.
Even the action scenes weren't that great.
Yeah,
though.
but the rest of the movie is just a real
It's just
slog.
fucking mess.
Yeah.
My notes kind of go like unrealistic apartment. John Voight is wearing a very nice shirt.
Yeah,
This date
good.
scene is
That's a
horribly awkward. Fuck, I hate the main character. Film has lost everything. What the fuck is this
Lost
film doing?
everything.
Film would be better with Sean Locke in it.
You've got a quote saying that was amazing. Is that in reference to the film?
Obviously not. I'm not actually sure what that's
was that a
from.
quote or something?
I mean, something was amazing, apparently.
Apparently, but we'll
slipped
never
his
know
mind.
now.
It
It
doesn't
has been
really
driven
matter.
out by the horror of having to watch this film and then record a podcast about it.
One thing I wanted, a little theory I had, and it's always good to theorize about these shit films. So John Voight is very into sort of, he's got a lot of Asian decor in his set where he is at the start when you first meet him as he's practicing this karate.
Oh yeah, that's some quite nice.
And I like to think that was just John Voight's house. You know, sometimes you get those guys and they just have that kind of Asian theme going.
It's a bit of a weave.
Yeah, pretty much. I just like to think that was John was, oh, you guys can just come film at my house. And they did. They wrote it and they're like, oh my God, John, this is gold.
Yeah.
So quick theory.
Just coincidentally, he didn't even read the script. He didn't know there was an Asian motif going on.
Yeah, this was his first day. He read the script on the day and was like, oh, this actually works out pretty well.
I would really be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the actors actually did just read the script on the day and then.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, one take, that's a wrap.
I think this is the movie that made Angelina Jolie have a fallout with her father. Not surprisingly.
Nuclear fallout. What do you... Oh, he's
Sorry,
fiddling
just touched
with
your knee.
I know.
Just having a good touch there.
Yeah, still
Just
going.
anything to get me through the day.
Oh, that was lovely. Let's not forget our ongoing feature. We do this every week. Coat of Charms, where we have an ongoing competition to see which dog has the sleekest, shiniest coat of fur. Now this week,
News to me.
no, we do it every week.
I think you'll find lots of evidence on the contrary.
Keep up, listen to the old ones. We do it every week. Now, see it seemed like there might have been multiple dogs in this film. Because sometimes there was, when he was in the car, particularly, his fur was very sort of
voluminous,
looked like it had been shampooed.
Yeah.
And in some of them, he had like these brown smudges over it. It was a filthy coat.
Yeah,
and
this was clearly multiple dogs.
so I feel like most of the time it wasn't very shiny. It wasn't very smooth. I feel like you don't want to run your hands through it.
No, you definitely want to, and if you do, you want to wash those afterwards. You don't want to serve food.
Yeah, like he'd be nicer to touch than the Shaggy Dog, but I imagine Tim Allen's dog would smell nice because he doesn't spend a lot of his time like rolling around in shit and stuff because he's intelligent.
The Shaggy Dog, I thought, looked quite.
Yeah, visually it was an interesting fur. They say Shaggy Dog, but it while it's got a lot of volume, it's a lovely coat.
Yeah, it didn't look dirty
shaggy.
or.
I mean, Buddy, of course,
knotted.
Buddy, of course, is very sleek. It's going to be hard to match him.
Yeah, Buddy's the cream of the crop. There, he's got the nicest looking coat. He's the one you want to pet.
Bingo was
I pet him and serve food.
pretty mangy.
Oh, Bingo. Oh, yeah. Bingo's
No,
alright.
it was pretty mangy.
Better condition than the dogs that were being served for food, though.
Yeah, but if you want more info on that, check out episode.
I'm struggling to remember what Bingo looked like.
It's kind of a nut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't know. You didn't know the breed.
Yeah,
What a mess.
Yeah.
So this was the worst film.
Oh, I think this is
Pretty easily.
I mean, I think most definitely last week with Earbud 2 and the week before with Bingo. They were definitely towards the end of the movie. I was sort of losing interest, but this one I lost interest
From the start, it was
Really
hard
early on.
to get a connection with the film. It alienated you. It doesn't let you in.
There was nobody who you could really connect with. John Voight was funny in a kind of crazy way. It's just like, oh, look at that man who's on drugs. But no one else in the film had any kind of characteristics
It's quite disappointing as well because this film,
at all.
from a subject matter standpoint, I feel like had a lot to give. You've got sort of action, fight choreography. It's set in San Francisco, a place that I'm quite fond of.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is
well-known comedic actor. Phoning it.
He doesn't really have any comedy lines. That's the thing as well. Like Jojo isn't a particularly funny dog.
Well, he's sort of. Yeah.
The movie isn't really a comedy.
No, that's
it
the
kind
thing.
of acts like it's a comedy, but it's not funny. And it's not even that it's like intention. It's not like it's intending to be funny. It just kind of.
There aren't a whole lot of.
I feel like a lot of the dog's lines sort of were.
Yeah, but there aren't,
A lot of it was fairly straight.
There aren't many parts of this that are like.
No, he sort of makes these little comments. Yeah, no, they don't go for it. They're
there's kind of like
going halfway. Like we could put a joke in here, but let's not.
Definitely
properly.
not like things like Bingo and the Shaggy Dog are very much sort of they go for the comedy angle. There's lots of sort of
You go for a gag and it doesn't always work, but it's proper. It hits you in the face. It's like this is funny. Laugh at me or not, but here it's sort of. I'll offer you maybe this
I guess
is
you're supposed to just laugh at the general concept that a dog is talking, but it's not.
But
I mean,
that kind of wears a pretty thin.
we've seen a decent bit of that. Cold feet.
I think we're probably wrapping up here. I just wanted to give
Is
cold feet a phrase?
Another quick update.
Yeah, it's means you're getting scared of something, like don't want to commit to something.
Another quick update. Still no word from Tim Allen. I actually asked him to join us today to watch The Karate Dog. Didn't hear anything, and he still hasn't shown up, so we just decided to watch the movie without him. So yeah, just wanted to update you. I know you must be thinking, oh god, Tim must have gotten in touch by now.
Does he have Twitter?
I don't know actually. That's a good point.
Maybe he's sending you messages out there. Maybe his publicists are forbidding him from replying directly to your emails, and he's coding.
I feel like Tim Allen isn't the kind of guy who'd listen to his publicists.
No.
I haven't checked my junk inbox. Maybe he has been responding to me this entire time.
I mean, that
And
would
my
be
email account's just.
certainly check that because some of the things you've sent him under the assumption that he hasn't responded are very.
I will get into that. Okay, and I'll let you know next
So
week.
give that a
if I found anything in the
look,
trash.
certainly.
And speaking of next week, what film will we be watching?
Oh yeah, shit.
That's your choice.
Is it my turn?
No, hang on. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
because you chose last
Yeah.
time. Okay, we're going to be watching a movie which is... Me and Oliver discussed this actually a while ago, so I hate to sort of, ruin the mystery there. He doesn't know that it might be this one.
It hasn't ruined the mystery yet. I have no idea what you're talking
It's
about.
a film that... Okay, well, I'm going to leave it. It's called Food Fight. And it's a historically troubled animation
Oh
project.
no, this will be painful.
It's not... And so this is where I'm kind of feeling a bit on the fence about this one because it's not really... It is a dog... The main character in the movie is a dog, but the subject...
Why is there food? Hang on.
Because the gist is that they're all like supermarket food items.
But a dog
as
is not a
brands.
supermarket food
No,
item.
but he's like the brand icon of some sort of food product.
Oh, yes.
And so it's like all these sort of like,
Interesting.
brand mascots.
So there is a dog
but so
fairly
the dog,
central.
and he is the main character. He's definitely a dog. His name's like something Dog Detective.
No, this is-
But the subject matter of the film doesn't revolve around the fact that he's a dog. So I guess that's kind of where I'm thinking it's.
I say we go
somewhat
for
Got
it.
a problem with it?
But
Go
it's supposed
fuck
to just
yourself.
be, it's this really terrible, we'll discuss it next week, but it basically just had a lot of problems over a sort of 12-year development cycle, and what we ended up with was,
Well, we'll see.
we will see. So that'll be next week. Until then,
Get your hands off my Dogcast.
shit.
Woo!